What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PorterWay Podcast. I am your official host, Showtime Tapia. You already know. We're live here at the Blue Wire Studios inside the Wynn Hotel and Casino. Definitely want to drop that real quick and tell everybody thank you for allowing us to come in here and spread our wings. Today, I am the Lone Ranger. But I keep it real with y'all, man. I read them comments, man. They y'all vicious in there, man. Y'all vicious in there. I got tough skin, so as Ant would say if he were here, keep it coming. Don't keep it coming though, man. Be nice, man. Show more love, man. That shit hurt, man. It's my first time really getting in there. Y'all ain't gonna like it that Ant ain't here, Carson ain't here, Sean's telling here. Y'all not gonna like that, but it is what it is. I got my man Nestor Gibbs in here, the boxing voice. He's gonna rock out with me today. And I brought you in here for a special reason. You were over there in Mexico at the in Acapulco at the WBC Convention. I thought that it would be cool to have you come in here and kind of recap everything that happened over there. I know this was your second convention.
Correct.
Danny's first, right?
Danny's first.
And y'all were both a little hyped up on a lot of different things going on through the course of the week.
I definitely was hyped up, came back fully motivated. I've given myself some goals and some things that I want to achieve by this time next year, specifically with the WBC. I came back and immediately started emailing Gilberto Mendoza, to make, arrangements for his convention that I believe is December 4th to the 11th or December 6th to the 10th, something like that. And yeah, man, it was a great time. It's very informative, and there's a lot of knowledge and so much information that you can receive and give forward, because there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Yeah.
Even Richard Schaefer, he sat down with me and he made it clear that Stenonius, even though he took step aside money, doesn't mean he loses his mandatory position.
Listen, and this is what I always say on the podcast. Y'all know some legal terms because you hear them a lot. A lot of boxing personalities and vloggers and things like that. Y'all say these different legal terms, but you really don't know what it means at the end of the day. You actually have to be in the business in order to know what it's talking about. You and I got into a little bit of argument about mandatories, what belts are on the line when you have a mandatory in place and all those different types of things. So we're gonna rewind real quick. I want to recap ESPN, then I want to recap the DAZN card in Cleveland. Shout out to Cleveland, and they showed up as always.
They did. They did.
And then we can get into the WBC. I just thought that you can kind of lend a hand. I think a lot of times I probably look like I know it all, and I don't really like that. So I feel that, you know what, let me bring somebody else in that could kind of, validate everything and, really say what's going on, and then, we can kind of bounce back and forth.
Sure, man.
Like
Let's get into it.
ESPN, right here at the Palms. Shout out Carson. I showed it with Carson, and there's quite a few people out there shaking my hand, wanting pictures with me, but also wanting pictures with him, which was really cool. And our behind the scenes guy Renee, we went up there, and then also we got to shout out Drew. That's Carson's cousin, another great friend of mine as well. We went up there and we hung out, man. I got there at 4:00, man. We went to eat, and then we ended up I was in my seat before the fight started.
Yeah.
I'm not used to that.
I know. You're getting a taste for that. Listen.
I'm not used to that.
And you're going to start to do it more and more. Like, I'm so invested when a Top Rank card comes on, I have to be there or tuned in at the same time, because it's like, I know Tiger, I know Shushu, I know Nico, I know Cashflow, I know all their prospects. How am I not going to call their fight or watch their fight?
Right.
So, yeah. It's a lot of hours, this job.
And the early fights were fun to watch.
Absolutely. They're usually the best.
Yeah, the early fights were fun to watch. They were competitive, and I think, I don't mind being myself, so I'm kind of like yelling these, kind of outlandish
instructions
things, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I always go for the underdog. I don't know. That's just kind of how I am. I've always been.
I think it's the easiest story to root for, because a lot of us come from that underdog background, man. Yeah. So, I mean, the underdog shines. Some people feel like in the main event, maybe Bentley should have got that win.
Really?
I mean, that's what the bloggers are saying. That's what the internet is saying. For sure, he was a 20-1 favorite.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Well, Emilio, he did his thing last night. Vargas.
Yes, he did.
He did his thing last night. And
that
it was
left. It didn't even look like a hook, right? It looked like a solid, straight power left hand.
It was a great punch.
Crazy.
It was a great punch.
My man was out.
So he handled, like, when the fight starts, he's sharp, he's on point. As that first round kind of continues, this guy gets off a little bit. And you can hear, and this is what I love crowds who keep it real. And so when the guy who's expected to win is getting hit or something's going wrong, like, express that. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, especially like Canelo and Bivol, the crowd was just quiet. Nobody's rooting for Bivol even though he's getting off. You know what I mean? Nobody's saying like, hey, this guy is, ooh, nobody's oohing and ahhing. It took 8 to 9 rounds for people to actually start oohing and ahhing about the stuff that Bivol was landing on Canelo, right? So last night, these people were oohing and ahhing, you know? And I think that Emiliano, he could hear it. And it kind of got to him a little bit, right? So he lands this amazing, it was a left hook, but he changed the trajectory of it. And they showed the replay in slow motion. And what I really liked about it was most guys go hook to the body, hook to the head. He went hook to the body. He saw a punch coming, which was just, he saw the punch coming, so he stayed low. He played defense off of that. And then as he was coming up for the hook to the head, which is the combination hook to the body, when he's coming up, he sees that the guy is not in position for this. So he changes the trajectory, and it was more of like a straight hook. And it just was right on the chin, picture perfect, and the dude goes down. And as soon as the dude goes down, he's looking at the crowd like, now what?
Yeah.
Y'all been oohing and eyeing for this guy because he was getting off on me. Now what? You know, so I just thought that for that to be his second fight, the introduction to Top Rank, you know what I mean? All that, I just thought it was picture perfect for him.
No, I definitely think he did. He had a great performance. I just feel like he needs to work on not getting drawn into a fight. I think that happens often. I know it's only his second fight.
Super early.
But
and he's 18.
It is only his second fight, and we've seen it twice. But again, he has power.
Yeah.
He keeps finishing the fight exactly how he did last night. So
yeah, what
more can you ask for? Especially, you know, like you said, debuting on Top Rank, you want to make sure that you're making a splash, and I think he did that. I look forward to seeing him again. I've been in the gym with him. I've watched him spar, and I'm excited for him.
Every fight, they're going to have to validate themselves. All three brothers, every fight, they're going to have to.
Because of the last name.
Yeah, exactly. And so last night, being his first fight on Top Rank, his dad's right there. They're in the hometown, Vegas, all that kind of stuff. Last night was a picture-perfect night for him. You're right. He needs to kind of control the range and the distance, fight when you want to fight, not because this guy's throwing and I got to throw back, not because I got hit a couple of times and I got to go right back. You know, and he'll catch on to those things along the way. He's only 18, second professional fight. You get touched, you got to get it right back. Your defense is really loose because it's just not crisp. I don't know. In the amateurs,
I think it's because he's offensive minded.
Yeah,
that's why he's a little loose with the defense.
And he's offensive minded, but a lot of amateurs, when they turn pro, it's like the defense is second. And the offense is first, and defense is third. Offense is first and second, and then the defense comes after that. So yeah, I mean, he's definitely got some things to work on. There's no secret there, but I mean, like, second fight, first fight on Top Rank, ESPN
doing his
Plus
job,
app,
doing
Vegas,
his job.
Yeah, doing his job. Then Seniesa Estrada gets in the ring, and I knew I had never seen the girl before, Argentinian girl. I'd never seen her before, but I knew. Probably after the first round, this was going to be a long night for Seniesa. You know when you know.
It's funny because I didn't feel that way. With all the punches she landed in that first round,
yeah.
I thought the girl would check out.
Yeah.
I thought the girl would check out, especially go to full 10. That was impressive.
Went to full 10.
I didn't, like I told you before we started, I didn't get to finish watching the entire Top Rank card. I had to pick and choose certain fights.
Don't say that, man. They hate. I probably should have.
I had to focus on the DAZN card. I had a correspondent out in Ohio.
Yeah.
We were
should have
just
briefed you before this started. That's what all the kind.
Well, the truth be told,
I'm hurting, y'all.
No, truth be told, he invited me here to recap the WBC. Last minute, he's like, "We're gonna recap WBC on the ESPN card." I said, "Okay."
yeah.
But yeah, man. What can I tell you? There's so much boxing, and that's the major problem. Is that the promoters they're being counterproductive by putting on productions on different networks at the same time that overlap.
Yeah.
And it does make it difficult because it's like I told you, we're in the gyms, you and I, so now you're invested in a certain fight. And like you said, don't let them hear you because they're going to get upset. It's like, man, you're in the gym every day and you didn't watch my fight?
Yeah.
It's like, yo, what did you think of my performance? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't watch your fight.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
So,
well, all 10 rounds went the way the first round went.
Which is sad because I felt like after the third, definitely in the fourth, the opponent started to change the pendulum, definitely swayed, and she became the come forward. She was putting her head on Seniesa's shoulder, chest, and kind of leaning on her, pushing her back.
Yeah.
While Seniesa was still working off the rope, I felt like it was starting to get uncomfortable, and I if she made it all 10, I wonder how Seniesa looked because she was getting more shots off once she closed that distance.
Yeah, she looked good. She looked sharp. It's a learning curve. And so you've knocked some women out. You've been on the big stage. You've won some belts. All those things. I've had my way. Mm-hmm. The first time you don't get your way in a long time at the least, and you go quite a few rounds, now the mental blocks come and you have to go through a couple of transitions, and so it's kind of, this was a learning curve for her. This girl was just a workhorse, was going to take everything, but just stay right there. And I kind of knew that after 2 rounds, I knew that the girl was just going to be there all night. She was just that kind of fighter. I'm going to be here all night,
That's impressive on your part because, again, those first 4 rounds, Seniesa did so much body work.
Yeah.
So much body work that, again, if that fight went the way you said,
check it out.
Man, that girl's durable.
There's no excuse here, but my fight was Sebastian Formella. Sometimes when you know what you're up against, you get ready for that, and nothing else matters. I believe that Sebastian Formella coming to the United States, their game plan was to not get knocked out. We're not getting hurt, and we're not getting knocked out. But I'm late in my career. So I've seen that before. I've seen guys stand up to everything I got. You really don't see, for me, from round 1 to round 12, you really don't see a shift in my boxing. You don't see, and you don't really see a shift in him being able to get off of me either. And it's because I've been through that before, So there was no 5th round. Why isn't he gone? Why isn't he going anywhere? It was, all right, this guy's here to work. Keep working, So now she knows what it's like when somebody's gonna keep working. What adjustments you need to make. I think she did pull off of the gas a little bit and started to move back and pivot and retreat a little bit. But it's just kind of it was a fight that she's gonna have to learn to keep doing what she's got to do no matter what.
I wonder how much of that was a learning curve as much of it was a surprise, because I don't know if you remember an opponent that Golden Boy got for her a few years ago that had on her waistband, her name was Mom. Obviously her record was like 5-0, 5 KOs. But when you did the research, they were like girls that never had fought, strippers that turned boxers, and Seniesa knocked her out really quick. So, the matchmaking over at Top Rank is quite different than any other, entity, right? Yeah. Bruce Trampler and Brad Goodman get a lot of respect within the industry for their matchmaking skills. So I'm wondering how much of that was a surprise for her because she's accustomed to something else at Golden Boy.
There you go. Yeah. Well, anyway, I thought she looked sharp. Didn't really see much to really comment on. I thought that both women really played their roles well. Seniesa looked like the champion, looked like she was going to get the job done. Then the other girl looked like, hey, I came to get a check, but I came to show you that I ain't no punk. You know what I mean? So it was a good fight.
I do want to say, since you're talking women's boxing, I hope that, unlike me, you did watch the DAZN card, because there was a female there that impressed me, that really turned me into now a female boxing fan. Like, I am going to learn more 130 pounders because of this girl, to see who she fights. You didn't get to see her last name, Ferreira?
I know you talking about Mr. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Man, I wish you watched that, because it would have been good to bounce some things. She's
I'll go back and check it out.
Really good.
Yeah.
Didn't get the stoppage, and I know that's what the promoter was pushing for, because they petitioned for 3-minute rounds and got it. And the girl obviously physically is made for this. Like, she's got traps and biceps.
Yeah.
You know.
Where's she from?
Brazil.
Okay.
So I want them to definitely keep an eye on her now. Don't wait for the championship fights.
Yeah.
Let's test her right now. Okay. But
record? You remember record?
No, she debuted, but she's an Olympian, silver medalist, and she fought a girl that was 5-5, 5 wins, and the girl, I believe, lost to Marlon Esparza already in the amateurs.
Okay.
Now Cordora, who she was facing, she was nowhere near as skilled, but she still was 5-0.
Yeah.
And wasn't a fabricated 5-0.
Right.
So this Brazilian girl is just very good. Puts her punches together, combinations, uppercuts, hooks, and she looks the part physically.
Boxing is really moving in the right direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in the ring.
No, they're gonna push her. They're gonna. I mean, to be a silver medalist already, take on a girl that's 5-5, and then push for 3-minute rounds.
Yeah.
So I know she got like 2 knockdowns or 3. So I know they assumed by giving her the 3 minutes we would get a knockout on television. It didn't work that way, but man, I wonder if Serrano or Katie Taylor are in her trajectory in the next 12 months because or Bumgarner.
Already?
What?
Yeah.
Yo, have you seen women's boxing?
No.
Like there's
I know.
There's this and then there's that.
I know, but you gotta get her some professional experience. No, you don't need it. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, based off yesterday, it's like they Lomachenko in her. Because she took on a girl, her debut. She debuted yesterday versus a 5-0.
Yeah.
And she destroyed that girl.
Yeah.
I mean, there's talent there.
This 5-0 lost to Estrada?
Like, honestly.
But this 5-0 can't lose to Estrada.
No. She lost to Marlon Esparza in the amateurs.
Excuse me, Esparza. Yeah.
But this, you know, people are not going to, come for me. I don't care. Come for me. Listen. Technically, mechanically, the mechanics of her punches.
Come on, now you impressed. I know it's something to
she
talk
looks
about.
way better than Seniesa did.
Ooh.
No, listen, she got the pull counter.
Yeah.
She playing with girls. She playing. She like flicking a jab at your guard. No, she's ready. She's ready. Again, I only know the top of 130, so I don't even know another girl I could throw in there with to be that barometer. But I'll say, let's give her Serrano's sister, Cindy.
No, she's
done.
Retired. Yeah,
really?
Ben. Yeah, I thought you was telling her to come out of retirement.
No, I thought she was still around and trying to fight.
No,
I don't know.
I'm 90% sure she's retired.
I guess Hamadouche was 130 versus Michaela Mayer, right? Let's give her Hamadouche because she took a that was an amazing fight with Michaela Mayer.
Shit, we ain't
I would
wasting
love
no
to
time,
see what I'm telling you, got to see her, Shawn.
All right.
I don't think. I mean, Clarissa.
Yeah.
The mechanics, the technique.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Katie, I'm gonna say Katie.
Yeah,
you know, she's but this girl got a little more soul, and it could be Brazilian capoeira. You know, she's on them toes. She's like this. She's not like no man. She mechanically. She got it,
super
man.
Fluid, huh?
Yes.
That's what's up.
Very fluid. Her flow is nice. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I'm gonna be real.
Younger, how old is she?
Don't remember her age, but she don't look old.
Okay.
She don't look old.
Right.
And they said she's a TikTok dancer.
Okay.
So after her win, she did like a TikTok dance.
Okay.
She's good though.
All right.
You guys definitely have to watch. I'm serious. And DAZN has it on the playback.
Right. I'm gonna check it out.
She's nice.
Say her name one more time for everybody.
Oh my God. What is her first name? Her last name definitely Ferreira.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look up her last name, her first name. She's good though.
Yeah.
It was very impressive, especially
ESPN main event.
Yes. Janibek.
Yeah, Janibek.
He didn't get the stoppage,
and Bentley.
man.
Yeah, everybody. Man, round by round, round by round. We were waiting on the stoppage, and because it's kind of like, if it's not one of the names, you should be stopped.
Well, no, it's because Bentley was stopped in the third by Felix Cash, like devastating knockout too. So Janibek comes to America. He's promoting Kazakh style, and then his promoter and the machine of ESPN is pushing Boogeyman because Andre didn't take the fight.
Sound like Carson.
I mean, it's what they're doing. Andre wanted bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
Right? As a fighter, I'm assuming he wanted bigger fish to fry. The fans were looking at it like, bro, you're ducking Johnny back.
Yeah.
Then he moves up to fight Zach Parker. That falls apart with the purse bid. He walks away from the $300,000 because his share of that would have been too small. Yeah. Now he's beltless, man.
Yeah.
So Janibek got elevated.
Yeah.
And since then, he's been, since and before, because he couldn't really get a fight, right? Like Jaime didn't want to fight him. So he's gotten this boogeyman tag. Like, look at Keith Idec, the middleweight division supposed boogeyman.
Supposed.
So, but those titles, they help sell, man.
Last night, he didn't really look
like a boogeyman.
He did and he didn't. I mean, he had Bentley kind of very, and Bentley's unorthodox. He's herky-jerky, doesn't know which punch he's going to throw first kind of guy. But Bentley was able to really just kind of, with his rhythm or lack thereof and technique or lack thereof, he's able to offset the things that Janibek does well.
Because of the awkwardness.
Because of the awkwardness, setting up that straight left. And like I told Carson, I said, hey, Janibek needs to put a double jab together. He needs to feint this guy. He needs to throw a hook off the jab. He's not mixing it up. And that's kind of, Carson's argument last night is, how can he be the boogeyman and he can't get this guy out of there? How can he be the boogeyman and he can't hit this guy flush? I'm like, hey, well, check it out. This guy is unorthodox and very awkward, but at the same time, I really don't see Janibek using much more than a jab or a 1-2, putting that together, and not much more than that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I think if you are considering yourself the boogeyman, like you got to have so much in your repertoire that everybody says like, yeah, you're a legitimate boogeyman. I mean, Errol Spence Jr. has so much in his repertoire. Even before he got the belt and everybody was calling him the boogeyman, even now, you know what I mean? He's completely solidified himself as a champion, but you could still say he's a boogeyman. You know what I mean?
I would say the perfect definition is Gennady Golovkin, because Gennady is a professional at getting these types of guys out of there. Steve Rose, Lemieux, who went on to be a world champion, but that CB level, if you're
if you're what's my C or B,
well, oh my God, what's the guy? Curtis Stevens, and I mean if you won a title but you ain't get it, he gonna get you up out of there. I mean he just doesn't. I'm sure he would have got Johnny back out of there. Bentley out of there. I think maybe that's what he lacks is a little bit of power, but he's still young. Still young, or at least in his career.
Sure.
This opponent, I'm going to be real, it did come out of left field for me. I didn't understand why they didn't find someone a little more marketable for American television. Like Bentley is domestically only known in the UK.
Right.
He's really never had a US television fight.
Right.
So I didn't get why put him on. And now I'm sure it backfired because they were not expecting him to go the full distance. I'm pretty sure they wanted Janibek to keep looking like the boogeyman.
The funny thing is, near the end of this fight, Bentley turns it on. Too Sharp turns it on a little more. I mean, he had moments through the fight where he was able to fight off Janibek. He had moments in the fight where he It looked like he had, gotten a little light on his feet and things like that. It was, I'll keep it real with you. I think it was entertaining because of Bentley. And I think it was entertaining because of Bentley because you didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't know if he was going to fall. And then you didn't know a lot of the punches that he swung and missed with. I mean, they looked like, some haymakers that was ready to do some serious damage. You know what I mean? So I really do think that fight last night was entertaining and suspenseful because of Bentley, not in part because of Janibek.
Man, again, I guess it's because you watched that and what I watched. So I'm pulling from it. Thomas Mattice, Tapia, I feel the same way. I feel like I've watched Mattice a bunch of times, but last night, that was a Fight of the Year candidate.
Ooh.
And I think it's more because of Tapia, but it brought everything out of Mattice.
Yeah, sure.
He had the best performance of his life.
Great to hear that. Happy to hear that.
Man, that was an amazing fight. I hope that boxing does the right thing and brings Tapia back.
Yeah.
But man, did you watch that?
Oh
my God.
I missed him.
How you chose Top Rank over your Ohio
saw the
brothers?
main and the main.
Oh my God.
Hey,
no.
Listen, I was trying to save my battery.
Listen. Damn. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm giving you a lot of homework. You have to watch Thomas Mattice versus Christian
they
Tapia.
like, he did this shit last week. That's what they said. That's what you're saying with this.
Yo, I couldn't believe what I was watching. You could tune into that fight at any round.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be entertained.
Wow.
And then I'm
so happy to hear that about
I want you to tune in after the third and then ask yourself which of these guys was dropped.
Okay.
Because if you don't watch 1 through 3, you won't know who got dropped. And there's no way to find out if you got that volume off because the announcers won't be able to tell you.
Yeah.
Just a back and forth. I ain't gonna say war because obviously Mattice at times can box.
Yeah.
And Tapia, he's punching in combinations. You know what I would love to see? Isaac Cruz and Christian Tapia. I mean, man, you guys.
Ooh.
Oh, damn, Shawn, you gotta watch this fight.
I'm messing up your game right now, huh?
No. Because they deserve the shine. I know it would have been great for you to have watched it because I tweeted it last night that it's Fight of the Year candidate.
Yeah.
But if more publications say the same, maybe they could at least throw their name in the hat.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
There was a Continental WBC.
It's always the names. You know what I mean?
It's always the names.
Yeah.
Or these back and forth, rock'em sock'em. Like, I don't like when, writers say, oh, well, that's Fight of the Year candidate because two dudes left their brains in the ring. Like, I want to see skill.
Yeah.
And we seen that last night, man.
Yeah.
But we also seen resilience and a guy that I want to interview both of them. I need to know how serious they took it in terms of training because it feels like they left no stone unturned. Because Thomas Mattice drops Christian Tapia, I think in the second round with a no-look hook, right? Like catch and shoot. He caught it, boom, puts him down, top of the head. So Tapia loses his balance. The leg kicks out from under him. He goes down. He's somehow able to recover. I mean, the kid, they need to nickname him Wolverine. I promise you, the way that he recovers, it's like something we've never seen. And then his heart, it's going to get him in trouble, but last night, he should be a star from it.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, he would punch when you know he's got no business punching, when you know you want him to clinch. His corner's probably got a little candle in the rosary begging for him to just clinch. And he'll just shoot and land some big punch. Because Shawn doesn't curse here. Oh my God. You guys got to watch this fight. You just have to watch this fight.
Yeah.
The scorecards were atrocious.
Everybody in the comments like, oh, we watched it. Shawn didn't watch it.
The scorecards were atrocious.
What you mean?
Oh my God, they give Tapia no credit. The scores was like 96 something low, 97 and 92. It was horrible, man.
Dang.
But Mattice did get a knockdown. And then in another round, he landed this straight right where Tapia should have went down. He almost put his glove. But this guy, he said he was swimming and everything else. That is a must-watch fight.
I'm going to see if I can get him on while we here. Hey, can you send me a link for calling?
That is a candidate for Fight of the Year without a doubt. And then for Thomas, come on, they was calling it a crossroads fight.
Yeah, I know.
And Thomas has not been successful a couple times on Showbox.
Yeah, I know.
Like, if he would have lost this fight, he falls into oblivion without a doubt. Without a doubt. So now he's got this fight. He's got a little continental. Someone is going to want to fight him to take that position, and we've learned that in the WBC. Someone's going to see his name like, oh, well, damn. Can we fight that guy with the belt?
Yeah.
So I'm happy for Thomas, but I definitely need boxing to get it right and bring back Tapia. Tapia versus, well, damn, that's 35. I can't throw him in there with Rayo. I'm not going to do him like that. We got to get him another 30. He is 30. At 30, he is a problem, man. Yeah. He is a problem. And he puts it together.
But I need to know how Rayo's going to look coming back, though.
Yeah, you know we'll see, man.
Yeah. That ain't the kind of fight you need coming back.
No. That's the wrong fight because Tapia's 130, Rajo's 135. So that's not. Yeah, but you know why I would hypothetically, if Tapia would have been a 35, that's a good fight. They both coming off of losses.
Yeah,
you know, obviously one coming off a knockout loss, but I feel like Tapia's fight with the Gunner man was just as tough.
Yeah,
like, man, Thomas put it together. He gets so sloppy though. And reckless, like at one point he beating on his chest.
Yeah.
Man, Tapia let him have it with a right hand.
That sounds about right.
He let him have it with a right hand. If he didn't clinch, he would have went down. That was one of the funnest fights this weekend. Go watch that, man. If you guys don't watch that, you have to watch it. You have to watch that fight. That one was nice.
Shoot, I guess I'll recap this week next week. I'm gonna recap the DAZN next week.
There's so much boxing, man. Like, I mean, Mayweather's fighting. Didn't he start already?
Today, right? Yeah,
something like that.
There's
a lot of so
fighting.
much boxing.
Yeah. And then let's just move over real quick. So I got the co-main and the main on DAZN last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's Hitchens, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
He looked amazing. He got the stoppage.
Amazing.
I mean, he didn't get hit.
No. I mean, yeah. He looked good.
You know, look, for a guy that they say doesn't have any power and he got the stoppage, but he doesn't look like he has power, even though he got that stoppage. He just doesn't. I don't know how he's going to keep somebody off him.
Yeah.
But he looked better than the guy he was trying to get a fight with, that's for sure.
Who's that?
Montana Love.
He was trying to get a fight with Montana?
Oh, you didn't see the build-up?
No.
Oh, man. I honestly was afraid that something was going to happen.
I ain't seen that in a long time.
I don't know how I'm going to do this twice.
I ain't seen that in a long time. Like, two guys at a press conference talking past their opponent to the other guy.
Well, definitely, Montana was trying to act like I'm
this is my city.
Well, more like
I'm the guy.
More like you ain't here yet. Yeah. Build yourself up. He's like, you're not here yet. Build yourself up. Yeah. You know, make some money. He was definitely throwing the money. You broke. Oh, and Richardson's like, man, you saying everything other than you want to fight.
Yeah.
But I think that fight is, I don't even know if it's there because Montana did not look good yesterday.
Yeah.
Sparks won his belt by disqualification.
Mm-hmm.
Montana thinks he's getting the rematch in his hometown. I mean, last I checked, Matchroom has Matchroom Australia. Sparks has a belt. Tim Tszyu does well. George Kambosos does well. Shit, Jeff Horn did well. I don't know that they're going to cater to Montana and give him a rematch.
They're not.
So he might have to fight Richardson next. Yeah. I mean, Richardson Hitchens next.
Yeah.
And that might be the fight that he needs because I watched Montana Love versus Samuel Teal and Kenneth Sims.
Yeah.
And those are fights that, you know, he's lucky the decisions are the outcomes on BoxRec.
Mm-hmm.
Then yesterday happens, you know, I don't know if he's focusing too much on his brand and the building of that because, boxing puts that pressure on you guys now not to just be just fighters.
Yeah.
Because you got to sell tickets and you got to be entertainers and you got to get people to be interested. Why? Because, look, you were a professional boxer and you couldn't watch everybody yesterday. And I've been doing this for 11 years and I couldn't watch everybody yesterday. So it's up to the fighter. I say this all the time. It's up to you to make me want to watch you.
Very true. Very true.
There's so much for me to choose
Very
from.
true.
Like, I could literally watch Floyd. I could have not watched none of you guys and watch Floyd today.
Sure.
And know what I'm going to get with Floyd. At least I know.
Yeah.
So I think boxers need to do a better job at marketing themselves, but they can't be overwhelmed or consumed by that because, then they put on performances that are less than. And,
well, I gotta keep it real.
That's what happened.
And I think that this is kind of, from what I've seen, has been the history of boxing in Cleveland. We have a lot of this just talent that just runs through Cleveland. Like a lot of us are just gifted with athleticism, but with that athleticism has to come hard work. And I believe why, we'll talk all the time about, the best fighters are from the Midwest, the best fighters from Cleveland. I believe that through and through. But then when you say, well, where y'all at? I don't see too many world champions from Cleveland. Where y'all at? A lot of us fall to the wayside because of where we come from. A lot of us fall because of we're not prepared for what it takes to be in on the big shows. You know what I mean? All the athleticism, but it's never really worked and molded and made into the greatness that it's supposed to be. And so when you look at a guy like Montana last night getting caught with clean right hands right over the top of your left hand, or right, he was getting caught with clean right hands right over the top of his left hand. That's not supposed to happen. That's the backhand catching you. You know what I mean? Coming over the top of your backhand. That's just not supposed to happen. And on top of that, you're moving away from that right hand. That means you're being lazy. That means you're not prepared and ready for the counters that you need to be ready for. And you don't have the eyes. You're not conditioned enough to be ready for when it's time to go. And that's how the body works. Really, really, the shock is really, really fast. You know what I mean? We always call it fast twitch fibers. They have to be shocking and going. And you see moments right there. You show the first clip, he gets caught with the first right hand was the right hand that hurt him. And then the pressure got to him. And then there was another, I think it was the hook that kind of cleaned him up. Right hand, that right hand hurt him. And then this the pressure right there has got to him. And then it was a left hook that kind of put him on the canvas. You know what I mean? Shout out to what was his opponent's name?
Spark. Steve Spark.
Yeah, shout out to him for doing what he needed to do. My man knew when it was time to turn it up, when it was time to control the range and the distance, when it was time to feint, let him get comfortable, lure him in. And all the things that I was hearing on the commentary about Montana running him in the shots. That's what he did in Montana. He ran Montana into some shots.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then if we show the last clip, which is, obviously we got to talk about this right here. You say like right here, like Sparks jumped on this guy immediately. Oh, damn, we got to
wait for the ad.
Yeah, we got to wait for the ad. We got an ad right there. But Sparks jumps on him immediately because he knows I got him shook. Let me not get,
he was hungry, man.
Yeah, let me not allow him to get comfortable. Let me not allow him to recover. You know what I mean? And so Montana shook. Sparks does what he's supposed to do, was jump right on him, not allow him to be comfortable. And I'm right here. I think that Montana's doing what he's got to do, but then he takes it too far.
I don't know that he knew he was going to flip him over the top, though. I'm going to be real. I do. Oh, okay.
I do. Because it's kind of that by any means necessary mentality. And so it goes from holding you to let me put your head over the rope so you can stop hitting me. And then it becomes, hey, if you go over, game over. You know what I mean? And I think that the plan backfired on him. You thinking very, very quickly and having we've seen Mike Tyson bite
I just think that style,
Evander
man.
Holyfield. He bit Evander Holyfield because he was out of his mind and he was doing whatever he needed to do to survive. This was the same case, just a different package.
I just think Montana's always gonna have issues with that crowd you mentality style. Like anybody, Shawn Porter would be a nightmare for him. Margarito, nightmare. Isaac Pitbull, nightmare. Those are all fights that they need to like stay away from that style. And Sparks brought that. He was on top of him. Mentally, that can be draining.
Yeah.
You don't get any time.
Yeah.
And that's why I said that about the Seniesa fight. I was like, man, after that third and fourth, this opponent changed it around and was like bringing the fight to her and leaning on her. And I wanted to know whether that would tire Seniesa or was her, conditioning there. And that's always been Montana Love's issue, man. When you start pushing Montana, I feel like it's also styles, right? Like that pretty style. I'm cute. I'm slick in the ring. Usually they ain't got stamina.
He's a pure counterpuncher. So his rhythm is the counterpunch. Counterpunchers, you're right. Like they're not expending energy. They're kind of counterpunchers. We're going to use your energy against you. You know what I mean? So if I push you and force and you can't find that counter, and now you got to find other ways to maneuver, push back, grab, hold, all those things ain't going to do nothing but take your heart rate to a place that it don't normally go. Exactly. And then from there, it becomes a mental thing. And I think that, it kind of caught up with him right there.
Yep. It was
terrible moment.
It's like Broner Maidana. When you meet that style that doesn't let you fight at your pace, it's a problem. And that's what happened to Montana Love. Like I said, I want to see how he bounces back. This is a disqualification, so what? He's got to apply for a license in another state or what?
No. This is a disqualification. They're probably gonna go through a grievance process because of the nature of the disqualification. We even heard Eddie Hearn say this is.
Yeah, he felt that the referee did the wrong thing.
The referee did the right thing. Referee did the right thing.
Again, I didn't see it as bad as you. I didn't think it was intentional. I don't know that he felt that man was going to cartwheel out the ring.
But are you telling me that he didn't see his head over the ropes?
He had his head in his chest. He's like trying to stop the action.
And so you got two things here. You got number one, you got to protect yourself at all times. And this is a fight. So at the end of the day, I'm fighting, I'm throwing, you throwing, it is what it is. But there are cases where if you're a professional at the elite level, you got a belt, so on and so forth, you're supposed to know that you can't hit this guy when he turns his back. You can't hit this guy when his head is over the ropes. You can't hit this guy when he takes a knee. You can't hit this guy when he's on the canvas. Like, there's just things that you're supposed to not do because you just know not to do them. Yep. The head goes over the ropes. Now it's time for you to let go. He doesn't let go. Why does he let go? Because if I let go, he's going to come right back at me. So I got to hold him as long as I can until the ref comes in. And I just think that he took it a little too far. I think he just took it a little too far. Kind of is what it is.
So then that makes Eddie a great promoter.
Why do you say that?
I mean, because he's fighting, campaigning for his man. He's telling the world that decision was the fault of the referee and the referee alone.
And he gets on the mic and says, "This is a disgraceful call. We're gonna file a grievance on Monday." I'm like, no. I appreciate you, Eddie, but come on, let's keep it real, Eddie. We got to keep it real. At the end of the day, your guy wasn't prepared enough to do what he had to do. He faced some adversity, and he folded to the adversity.
But just to play devil's advocate, did the referee not have enough time to take control?
I felt like that too. I felt like when the referee sees what's going on,
that was the first time they tussled.
And I talked to at the WBC convention. I talked to some of the referees. I said, hey, I think referees need to be more vocal. They need to be louder, and I think that there are moments when they need to be more physical. That right there was clearly a moment where the referee needed to be more physical.
I think I've obviously spoken to a couple referees.
Sorry to cut you off, but again, to the referee's defense, there's just certain things you don't do. I see the guy's head over the ropes. I should be able to say break, and you break. Now the referee should read the room, and he should know the nature of the situation. Montana is in survival mode and he's going to do whatever he needs to do. So I need to be more vocal and I need to be more physical now because I know that this man is trying to survive. Not because he's hurt, but because the other man is really out to get him.
Yeah, I mean, the referee's in a rock and a hard place because he gets, damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Like, if you do interject, then he gets the label that he's the referee.
Yeah.
No, he's the referee that wants to be popular. He's trying to make a name for himself.
Yeah.
It's not about you, ref. It's about the fighters.
Yeah.
But then if he doesn't take a point, we're complaining. And he also gets a bad rep that he wants to ensure he's coming back because no referee wants to be the one to take a point and ruin the fight on television. Yeah. A television fight, everything is different, man.
Interesting thing about this, though, is I know when you get punched out of the ring, you have 10 seconds to get back into the ring. I don't know about a situation where you get kind of like thrown out of the ring.
Wrestling is 20, ain't it?
Is it?
I think it used to be 20,
I could be wrong. It could actually be 20. Yeah, it could be 20.
But
there's just
I
things
think that the Sparks one is like, it's being, I guess, minimized because he landed on his feet.
Yeah,
where B-Hop landed on his shoulder neck.
Yeah.
So I get the referee did the right thing, but I think Eddie's standpoint and a lot of other people is, man, that man could have continued. We could have finished our fight.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Like, what did you want to have happen right there in that situation?
I mean,
clearly points at the least.
I like what happened for TV and for the fight fans. Obviously, it probably would have been best to continue, but there also needs to be like you said, a punishment, right? Like, at this level what you can and can't do. You're not an amateur anymore. You're not a novice anymore. You're a contender.
Right.
He had a strap he was defending. It's a regional, but it's a strap. You represent a sanctioning body now. So, yeah, man, if that's the rules, then you got to be disqualified and you lose your belt, It would have been unfair for him to continue because, Sparks mentally knows, man, I'm supposed to have already won.
Yeah.
So who knows? And can Sparks, physically get back?
What I didn't want to happen was somebody get in the ring or somebody come up on the apron and tell the referee that this fight has to continue for TV. This fight has to continue because there's a belt on the line. This fight has to continue because this guy's the B-side. Like, there's so many things that could have happened that I was afraid would happen. I was glad that it went as far as it went. And then I was also glad, don't know the referee's name, but I'm glad that at some point he said, hey, I done already said it. Nobody's fucking listening to me. You know what I mean? He said, I already disqualified him. Nobody's been listening to me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because, again, going back to that, referees need to be more vocal. Like, at the end of the day, there needs to be one guy who makes the decision.
Is that we've tried everything, but there's no consistency with boxing, right? Like, the referees in certain states, certain commissions, we have instant replay. We don't use it consistently throughout the sport.
They said that, and I was like, now y'all just messing it up. Because you heard him say that, right? You heard him say, hey, look at the video. Look,
I didn't, but
he said, look at the tape. I said, oh, shit.
There's also, we had a moment where PBC introduced like a camera headset.
Yeah.
That could have been another angle.
Yeah.
There's also a referee down at ringside. Yeah. So, I just think they made the right decision. We got rules for a reason, and horse playing or roughhousing, whatever you want to call that, like that. I was happy when Amir Khan was point deducted in DC versus Kendall Holt. I felt he should have got more points deducted. Like, shoving isn't a part of boxing. You trying to push him to keep him off you because that pressure. So Montana did what he did.
Yeah.
Sparks deserves to be in the position that he's in. I doubt that they revisit it just yet. I'm sure they'll throw in
revisit the fight altogether.
Yeah.
You don't think? I think Montana's gonna really campaign for that. He's gonna he's gonna try to force.
He might have to go over there.
It will happen in Australia,
and I don't know that
or England.
I don't know that it's big enough for him to go over there.
You don't think the controversy has made it bigger? Or made it big?
I mean, big for us is different for you guys in terms of fighters and purses. Like, is he gonna go? Rumor was this fight deal was $300,000 per fight, 3-fight deal. So if he got 300 to fight him in Ohio, is he going to Australia for 300? I don't know. I don't know.
That ain't my.
That ain't what you heard?
That ain't my lane. Nah, that ain't my lane. My lane ain't, determining how much a fight is worth and all those different things.
So you saying you would have fought Formella for the same hair and where the hell is he from? What's he from?
Germany.
No,
Germany.
Denmark. Ain't he from Denmark? Maybe you're right.
Germany's
okay.
close to Denmark.
Let's go with Germany.
Is Denmark in Germany?
Your podcast. You tell us.
Right.
But would you have fought him here and there for the same amount?
That's a different situation, man.
Why?
Because you can't put me. That's a different situation.
That's what you asking him to do.
I made nice chips on that though.
Exactly. So would you do it over there in Denmark?
For the chips that I made, yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. There you go. So, I mean, maybe he's willing to do it for the same. Hopefully, because he's also B-side now. Technically, he lost the belt. He ain't even getting the same amount.
Right.
I'm sure it makes more sense to walk away. Hypothetically, if he could beat Hitchens, then revisit it. And I'm sure for DAZN, they still want that Hitchens fight because it sells itself.
Right,
those two guys have been,
of
putting the word out there about it. So maybe it moves the needle.
Yeah. They've been light about it, or they've been kind of really getting
No, like I was saying, I just stopped. I was fearful that something could happen. Obviously, Hitchens talking the way that he's talking, being from Brooklyn, it could upset the fan base of a Montana Love. And, something could happen. And Montana was talking a lot of outside fighting, where Hitchens made it clear in the press conference, like, man, I'm a fighter. We fight. I'm talking about fighting in the ring.
Right.
So hopefully they can, stay in line to make that fight and make it a reality.
All right. I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, me neither.
Let's get to the WBC right quick.
Let's do it. Fun time.
Man.
Shout out to Mauricio Suleiman and his entire staff.
Big
they were
staff.
lovely. Yes.
Yeah.
Big staff, man.
It's go big every year, man.
Yep. That's why I want to go to the WBA or the IBF.
They just did WBO, right?
In Puerto Rico. It was so quick, though. October 24th to the 28th. Yeah. It was very difficult.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody that went.
Just look at the they be kicking it. WBC be kicking it.
Mm-hmm. It was fun.
They be kicking it. They said it's too short. They get the job done and then they go home. Like WBC.
Yeah, but the WBC was more days.
That's what I'm saying. The WBO get the job done and they go home. Yeah, WBC be kicking
and
it.
I guess that's why everybody wants to go to the WBC.
They like, listen, we're going to have a dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Forget any work at all. We're going to do a talent show. If you have any talent whatsoever, come through. Did you sing?
I seen you singing with Riddick Bowe.
Yeah, I got to get Bo up there, man. I had a great time.
Got yourself a duet with the champ.
Yeah, I had a great time with Bo over the week.
Nah, with some great people that came out. Those are fantastic networking opportunities, and you hear a lot of great stories in those places. A lot of legends. Miguel Cotto was there, and
not as many legends as usual.
No, it wasn't. A lot of guests that were confirmed that didn't show. So I don't know what happened. They had so many confirmed guests that didn't show. Tito Trinidad was supposed to be there. Just so many.
Oh,
yeah.
The flight.
Yeah.
People confirmed, and then they found out what it took to get there. They said, "Oh, yeah,
yeah,
I ain't gonna make it."
Some people had 2 stops, man. Yeah, no, it was. And the thing is, how many people would you say were in there?
I don't know. I don't know how many. I don't know.
Because I think
I'm not a good estimator.
Me neither. And I don't want to overestimate, but was it thousands or hundreds? Was it one, two,
it was closer
three,
to
4?
thousands, but it wasn't thousands.
Not 4. 2, 1,000 maybe?
No. At the most 1,000, but I think it was under 1,000 people there.
Because the gala seemed extremely full.
Yeah.
Man, there were just times I'm like, how many people are here?
Yeah.
you know. And then he brought out the mayor and the first governor. I just think maybe Acapulco is going to be a lot. Yeah, first female governor. I think Acapulco might just be the next location for a while. I just feel like, bro, that airport, it's one terminal.
That was smooth. Listen, that was smooth.
Yeah, it's smooth, but what you're not getting is that place was dead.
Yeah.
So he brought them a lot of tourism.
Sure.
And he's already confirmed the female one back. I think we're gonna be going there. I mean, or the WBC will be going there a little bit more than we expect because, yeah, he's just helping tourism, bro. Like he literally had the army out there every day. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah.
No, they were watching the building. I swear. I didn't realize it until my last day. Like my balcony, I could see them there every day. But then I finally realized
they was protecting you every day.
Look at my friend down there. I just realized that the last day, like, this is because the tourism has been down. And obviously, you know, once you do some Googling, some high crime over there. So they're trying to bring back, you know, bring the groove back to Stella in Acapulco. And it was okay, man. In terms of,
it was.
I've been to a lot of resorts, so, you know, I'm a little bit picky in terms of that. But
it was nice.
If we thinking just function-wise, WBC, man, it was one of the best I've been to. It was super educational. Having you and the Donaires there was amazing because, you know, obviously I got even more insight. I had an amazing conversation with Marshall Kaufman.
Nice.
Got a bunch of insight. And it was just an amazing time. And I don't think that unless the location isn't desirable, I probably won't miss another one.
Right.
My plan is in a year to be on the ratings committee. I'm going to say that out loud. Speak it, believe it, receive it, because what I seen happen to Otto Valin or Valin, it hurt me.
Ratings was Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Ratings
Thursdays was mandatory. So juicy day.
Let's do the ratings real quick. I did those were the two things I really wanted to get into was the ratings and then the mandatories. Because I knew you was full-fledged all the way in there. Pictures, autographs, all day, every day, that kind of thing. So
it was just again, it's shout out to the WBC and Mauricio Suleiman and the entire committee for allowing us to be there and really their transparency on how they do things, right? Because this really could be done in a room or a Zoom call without us. You know, we don't have to be there to see certain things and certain people get approved and how they get approved and how they don't get approved. So just credit to them for their transparency. But yeah, I was very disappointed because Mr. Valin was number 6. He has a better resume. He's fought the better competition. And man, I have to look this guy's name up. It's like Khan. I'll find it because we interviewed him. But somehow this other heavyweight, who was only number 7, granted,
right,
he was able to take Valin's position at number 6.
Let me paint the picture real quick. So the ratings day is when they basically show up on the screen what every division, what the rating is or the ratings are for each division. And then if someone has a representative there, or if someone is there themselves, they can petition to move up in the rankings.
Yep.
And so Otto was number 6 on the rankings.
With no representation
there. Number 7 got somebody up in the room, and they stood up at the mic and petitioned for their fighter to be moved up.
So number 7 had a Met owner. He's a boxing promoter, and he was petitioning for Zan Batuski, something like that. Somehow he jumped Oda. Mr. Valin, who has a way better resume. I mean, he beat Negron and Dominic Brazil.
Yeah.
If I Google this guy, he hasn't fought anyone.
How long was that conversation, though?
No, that conversation was longer than most because shout out to a Met owner who is I'm gonna go on a limb and say he's a great promoter. Why? Because he showed up.
Yeah.
Why? Because he got his guy a better positioning, and without a fight, elevated. He's now number 6, which is 5 slots away from the champion. So his purse will go up. His opportunities will, change. He'll get different phone calls. His next fight might be on television now because of what his promoter was able to do for him. Where on the other hand, Mr. Varlane, he needs to have a conversation with his team.
Yeah.
How could it be that no one is there?
Remember what I said to you the first day, though? I said, hey, a lot of times the fighters don't know. A lot of times managers don't know. Promoters don't know.
And then you shouldn't call yourself a manager if you don't know when you need to be in a certain room to move me.
Yeah.
Because, listen, Dimitri Salita is his promoter. I got his manager's number. I would have to go through my phone. But that's 2 people that dropped the ball, and he hasn't fought since May. So to lose positioning without having a fight, it's just unfair.
Yeah.
So the biggest name on Zhang, we'll just go with his first name so that we don't ruin it.
I got you.
So the biggest name on his resume is Joan Duapai, who's a common opponent, obviously, with Deontay Wilder. He's also faced Joey DeVaco. Most notable thing that he did is be with no, he's from Philly, but the biggest thing he did was allegedly knock out AJ in sparring. So then he did beat, I won't even try to pronounce this guy's name, but he was a Nigerian heavyweight, trained out of Florida. He had 1 fight on PBC. He was trained with Stacy McKinley, that used to train Mike Tyson. He lost to Rodney Hernandez on PBC. I wish I can pronounce this. It's like, nope.
No, just let it go. Why are you showing me?
I want to see, could the champ give it a try?
They already know I can't read. I've made that very clear to them.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's
you know what I do with things like this? I usually have my computer connected, copy, paste, and let the computer speak it. Because it's crazy.
Was that the only thing at the ratings meeting that kind of took you?
Just the fact that you can petition.
Yeah.
I think that was an eye-opener.
It's pretty interesting, right?
It was to watch it unfold.
Yeah.
To see Don Majeski.
Yeah.
It was very revealing, this convention, how much power he has. He's influential.
Sure.
He's influential, and he works with the WBC.
Yeah.
But he represents Top Rank.
Yeah, I know.
So it was, again, very revealing. There was a lot happening there. The back and forth. See, I love everything, Shawn. Again, you watch other sports and stuff like that. This is so the drama between Samson Lewickovic.
That was crazy. and
Mauricio
because they're older, so it's just
Samson, sit down.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the 2 of them going back and forth. It was I really hope not to miss. I hope they keep making desirable locations.
Sam is strong.
Sam is a powerhouse in the sport.
Yeah.
That was a little bittersweet though.
Yeah.
It's like I've been interviewing this man for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Walked up to him, he's like,
no,
who are you?
Shut up.
And then he tried to play, he's like, you ain't have your beard this thick. I'm like, Samson, I'm going to body you. We took a picture and I sent it to us. I'm like, yo, so you don't forget.
Yeah.
I was so tight.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I literally made fights with you on my show. You're terrible.
Yeah.
But yes, he is another very influential, very hands-on, and it's funny because when I first got into the game, obviously Samson has huge accolades, right? He's credited for finding Manny Pacquiao, Sergio Martinez, obviously Fundora, so many great fighters. But he goes to bat for everybody.
Everybody.
It doesn't matter who it is. He treats them all the same. he's such a loving guy, you know, and he gives a lot of these fighters from third world countries, Argentina, Uruguay, the Dominican Republic, he gives them so many opportunities that they wouldn't otherwise get. And, you know, you got to remember, he found David. That's his fighter, is David Benavidez. So
right.
Like, this guy knows, Ustatsigi is also his fighter. This guy knows talent. And yeah, man, I just hope based off him not remembering me, he's not too old, bro.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, shit, how are you forgetting this already? Like, I hope he's not getting too old because, you know, he dyed his hair.
Yeah.
It was nice and black. So shout out to Samson. He had the hamburger
No, you
out.
can't tell on him. You told on him.
No, but you can tell. It's like, you know, still like salt and pepper. Like he's not trying to turn it back. He's trying to like just stay looking good. It was the Caribbean.
My man,
he had his wife there.
Had his chest hair out every day.
He had the hamburger and the chains out, man. It was beautiful. He's I'm telling you, it would not be the same if he wasn't there. He brings a lot of excitement and
because he had a lot to say at the mandatory.
Oh, absolutely. No, he had so many fighters to elevate and introduce. That's another thing. Like managers, you need to know. You have to come. Like you can literally come and say, hey, you know, John Doe is a 5-time national champion. You know, he was eliminated in the first round. And I think that you guys should keep an eye on him to potentially include him in the rankings because right now he's like 5-0. If you don't do that, they'll never put him in. Like he'll never be in. And all that was just telling. I didn't know a lot of what goes on in these rankings and mandatory meetings.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get to the mandatories, I mean, Charlo was blessed. He was blessed.
160 Charlo, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like extended it and just like, oh yeah, we'll get in touch with him to see what's going on with him. And then when they said they're not even gonna look to hear from him till January. So, you know, they're really giving him a lot of time. And I'm pretty sure he hasn't done a mandatory since 2019. So.
Oh yeah, it's about that time.
Oh yeah.
About that time. Yeah.
Yeah, and Carlos Adames, honestly, I think they didn't strip Jamal because of Adames. I don't know if you were there or not, but in the mandatory meeting, he obviously took the mic and he said, I don't want to be elevated. I want to fight the champion, which is cool. Yeah. You know, but knowing the business, I'd have took that title. Let that champ come back and fight me for a less percentage. I'm the champ now. I'd have been elevated. You know. But again, if you're not there, you don't know that. If you're not talking with your manager, he won't tell you that. Yeah. So now you just putting your life on the line to win the belt from the champ. And I get it. The fans will love you more. You won't get called the vacant title champ or paper champ or whatever they call you guys these days for not fighting the actual champ. But
well, that's why they say that you never let the fighter do the business because the fighter's going to do the business with their heart. Yeah, that's why.
And that's what happened, you know. So now Adames just stays in limbo until about January, and they'll notify Charlo, see what he's going to do, and then he may get elevated anyway, unless someone else interjects themselves with the WBC and say, hey, let me fight Adames for the vacant belt instead. Because
any surprises
at the convention?
No, at the mandatory.
I mean, the obvious surprise of the WBC ordering Canelo to be the mandatory for the winner of Keller Plan and David Benavidez. It was something we were expecting. I had Samson on my show, so, you know, I knew that the Ustatsigi fight with David was off. I seen David in Phoenix, so I knew that the Plant fight was on. I just didn't know that they would make it for the mandatory. Yeah. And it was good for boxing to have Mauricio mandated. You know, he gets a lot of hate and stick because of his relationship with Canelo. So they feel he's protecting him or would have protected him in this particular instance. But I want the people to know it doesn't mean they're going to fight. I mean, Canelo has to still want to stay at 68. By the time Plant Benavidez fight. Yeah, because they could fight in March, right? Plant Benavidez. Yeah. And then There's a quote from Bet365 that's been floating around for the last 24 hours that Canelo said he will fight in May. So I don't know. He's definitely not fighting the winner of that quick.
Right.
So we're looking at September. He could also fight, defend those undisputed titles one time, and or force Bivol to 68 for the rematch with bigger money.
Yeah.
And then vacate those belts. Now Plant and, the winner of, they got to find out what to do. They're in limbo.
Right.
But it's still good that the WBC did their part.
Right.
And that they won't be blamed for not getting the winner of that fight to face Canelo. So I was happy about that. Obviously, not surprised, because again, these are things we're expecting. We want to make sure that the powers that be do the right thing on the day that they're supposed to.
Yeah.
And they did. They mandated Wilder Fury. So, I want that. Honestly,
Wilder Fury, what is that, 4?
Excuse me, mandated Wilder Ruiz. Thank you for repeating me, or else I would have been looking crazy. Yes, Wilder Ruiz. The thing about that, I want to see one of these guys step up, right? Tank Ryan.
Yeah.
There's rumors that that's going to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Wilder Ruiz, Plant Benavidez. Take the Canelo date.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever he fights is going to be less than. Mm-hmm. He's not fighting Bivol in May. Mm-hmm. He's obviously not fighting Plant and Benavidez. Someone needs to take that date. It could be Wilder Ruiz without a doubt.
No doubt.
Because they're heavyweights.
Straight up.
And it can be the Mexican Monster and Caleb Plant.
Yeah, I like that.
But
you think they deserve their own cards?
What, those 4 fights?
No,
those 2 fighters?
No, those 2 fights. Canelo, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get what we got. I don't think we'll get Wilder and Plant on the same card again, not with those opponents, not versus Ruiz and versus Benavidez.
Right.
Listen, if we can, amen. Thank you, boxing gods. I don't know that they would. That's 85 each.
Would you prefer bigger appealing cards and less fights through the year?
Mm-mm.
No, you would prefer more fights through the year.
So I'm different, man. I'm not your casual. Again, because I don't watch any other sport. I love to see the development. Like watching Raymond Savage last night, that was great. I've watched his whole career on TV.
Right.
Like Nico's and Tiger and all these guys. Just like Earl. We got to see 2012 Olympians.
Yeah.
They started on Showtime. We got to see their entire career. And I prefer that. I don't want you to take an off-TV fight. Mm-hmm. I understand off-TV fights because your promoter, the network, you might have to rebuild or something.
Yeah.
But I prefer to see every performance.
What about Thurman Spence?
So that was ordered.
Yeah. Did that catch you by surprise?
I guess
was that one on the radar for you?
I guess it was on the radar. What I wanted the surprise to be was what didn't happen and what you kept saying wasn't going to happen. And I just wanted to see, Oscar do right by his fighter.
He sent representation, didn't he?
But they only petitioned on the ratings day. So they asked for what they wanted to happen on the mandatory day, on the ratings day, only to be told come back tomorrow and then not show. Mm-hmm. So it made no sense. And again, this is a different audience, so I'll say what I wanted was for...
No. Do your thing.
What I wanted was for Virgil Ortiz's team to petition because he has more of a positioning. Thurman's status is that he was never stripped of the WBC, so he might have some sort of emeritus status somewhere where, they're like, whenever you're ready, you can fight the champion. That's probably his clause, just like Mikey. But the wins of Virgil and the activity of Virgil could possibly trump Thurman had he had someone there to represent him, had he had someone there to say these things, but he didn't have someone. Now, the reason that I think it would have been Oscar doing, right by Virgil is because if you lose to Earl, you're losing for 3 belts. You're never going to get to lose for 3 belts again. Yeah. Now, this is where me and Shawn had a debate. Because Shawn says even though the WBC mandates Earl to fight the WBC mandatory, Earl doesn't necessarily have to put the WBA and the IBF on the line because Earl may not want to pay the sanctioning fee for those other 2 belts. I don't believe that's the case. I don't believe that those other 2 belts sit idle, let you have a fight and pick and choose when you can defend their belt. As the champion, you got to defend it.
I wasn't saying that it was only because he didn't want to pay those sanctioning fees. What I was saying was that because he has those belts and that guy is not in line to fight for those belts, he does not have to fight. He does not have to put those belts on the line. So like, for instance, and we've seen this in boxing, you're rated number 2 in the WBC, but you're rated, if anything at all, 10 with the IBF. If I'm rated 2 with the WBC and you're a mandatory challenger for your WBC, how do I deserve to get the IBF and I'm ranked 10 in the IBF solely because I beat you?
I've just never seen it happen though. I need you to name one time you've seen the champ lose just that one belt and walk away with the other 2.
It just makes sense to me.
I get it. But that was my thing. For Golden Boy, let's petition. Let's do what we got to do. He's from San Antonio. He's from Dallas. The fight made sense.
Yeah.
It'll never happen again.
Yeah.
Can Virgil get bigger? Probably, but let's remember, he started way smaller than Earl.
Yeah.
So whenever he catches Earl at 54, he'll never be a true 54.
Well, he had weight problems. Just
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if it's weight problems because you're not living right, or if it is indeed weight problems because it's hard for your body to lose what needs to be lost. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but I mean, those are telling signs that, hey, he's bound to be 54 relatively soon. And he's a big kid.
How many tickets you think that fight would have done in Texas?
Ortiz it's a sold out arena. In Dallas.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I would have loved to see Golden Boy.
I tried to save you the heartache. I did.
I just want boxing to get it right.
I tried to save you the heartache.
For Ortiz, that's the route to go. Now,
and we're not gonna say no names, but when he looked at you, he said, "Oh yeah, we're here. We're gonna make some noise."
Yeah,
you and Daddy got hyped.
Yeah,
I said, yo, settle down.
He said, we're petitioning for 3 welterweights. I said, whoa, who could it be?
Yeah. And we sat up there and had a whole little 15, 20-minute conversation about it ain't this guy, it's gotta be this guy, can't be this guy, so on and so forth. I said, it don't even matter. It ain't gonna be what you think it's gonna be.
Poor Blair didn't get anything too. After that Hooker fight, they should have been and this is what I'm saying, like, you learn this though, and learning this stuff is important because it may change the career path for certain people. Because again, Blair beat a former world champ in Maurice Hooker, the best performance of his career, and they didn't even say, "Can we interject Blair into the WBC rankings at welterweight after his big win over a former champion?"
Yeah.
And that's a valid case.
Sure.
He beat Hooker.
Sure.
Obviously, Hooker was a champ at 140, but they could have done something. But Blair, from what I'm seeing, is not in the top 15 in the WBC. So that could have possibly helped him had his team stepped up.
Right.
PBC did a horrible job. I mean, they spoke for certain fighters. Like, if Bumgarner doesn't step up for Tony Harrison, Harrison loses an eliminator with Fundora for an opportunity to get back to the nemesis, an opportunity to get a trilogy, something that doesn't happen often in boxing, but PBC has a representative that's only there to represent Lipinets, Cody Crowley. I don't even know who else he spoke for. Who else did he speak for?
I don't know.
That was crazy to me. I don't know. It's just... Again, it was very selling.
It's like a fun week. It's a really informative week, and then you get a lot of surprises. Like you start to learn how some of these buttons like get pushed. Some things get started.
How many of these ordered fights you think we actually get? So you got Wilder Ruiz.
We get that.
We got Thurman Earl.
We get that.
Shakur Pitbull Cruz. Isaac.
We don't get that.
That's sad. I knew you was gonna say that.
Yeah, we don't get that.
That's crazy.
Hey, we don't get Canelo fighting the winner of Plant and Benavidez.
What? Wow. Honestly, I don't believe that because I know that he didn't factor in this, guys. Name another 55 million guarantee fight for Canelo. Remember that the PBC deal was 55 for Earl and Benavidez, and he turned that down to go fight Bivol. There's no way he's getting that money. He barely got that for Gennady.
So his back against the wall.
Oh yeah. I mean, again, he's got the Bivol fight.
Yeah.
He could convince Bivol and DAZN to give Bivol a nice offer for undisputed at 68.
Which is my point. That's my point.
But after that, though, remember this guy said he had 10 fights. He's not nowhere near retire. Now, unless he loses twice to Bivol, he nowhere near retirement, bro. He loves this sport. Oh, you think he's done already? Okay. I don't know, man. I don't think he.
I'm not wrong too often.
Look at even Wilder came back.
I didn't expect Wilder to retire.
But that's what I'm saying. He fight until he's 40.
Yeah.
And if he has it his way in most interviews, he would want at least 6 more fights.
Yeah.
But that we'll see how that works out. In terms of it's the dates, man. We need boxing on an app.
Yeah.
We need DAZN to give everybody
love.
Yes.
Yeah. Listen, let me finish up with this. We did a question of the week. I'll shoot it to you too. Who will you be, let me set this up real quick. The setting is zombies in the apocalypse. If you could choose 4 fighters to survive the apocalypse with, who would they be?
Definitely Mike Tyson.
A lot of Mikes too.
Man, after the last fight, I don't know. I'm gonna throw his name in there because he's made to be a villain in TV. Hergovich, he's got that broken English and he says these beautiful one-liners. I remember interviewing him and I'm like, what advice would you give Josh? And he was like, stop smiling. So he's a killer.
Yeah.
But his last fight, he looked like his tank is low. So
yeah,
he might not make it to the party.
Yeah.
So Wilder for sure, because he's going to get him out of there in one punch. Yeah. Tank, got to throw him in there.
Why Tank?
Same thing, the power.
Yeah.
And obviously he got the skills not to be bitten.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Why everybody keep going to getting bit?
Well, you said zombie in apocalypse.
We don't know.
We
don't really know what that's gonna look like.
Based off movies, we know if you get bit, you're gonna turn into one. So last thing I want to do is have, a guy like Wilder get bit.
I said I would have Wilder because Wilder's loyal. He ain't gonna let nobody
True.
Go down. Yeah. Go ahead.
So okay, Wilder, Tank, Tyson. How many I get?
4. Wilder, Tank, Tyson.
One more?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna front. It probably would have been man down, but Terrence is on a knockout streak. And right now, we talking life or death.
Yeah.
I need you to get him out of there. I can't let them get up.
Yeah.
It got to be man stay down.
Yeah. All right, I dig it. Here, let me shout these guys out real quick. Stay goated. He said Mayweather, Tyson, Roy Jones, and Tommy Hearns, and Larry Holmes.
Oh, he's dying.
Yeah.
Floyd holds too much.
And so I said, when I did this on the show, I said, let us know why. I said, also remember that whoever you surviving this with, you with them every day. And that's why, my list was Terrence, Gary Russell, Wilder, and Roy. And I said, I could see myself being able to survive with these guys. And the dude said at the end of all this, he just said, we be chilling. You said they dead?
With all the holding Floyd do, he turned into a zombie immediately.
He said Mayweather, Tyson, Roy Jones,
they
Tommy
gonna bite
Hearns,
him on the shoulder roll.
Larry Holmes, and he said, we be chilling. Daryl Hughes, he said Foreman, Wilder, Roy Jones, and Hagler. He said a combo of size, speed, power, and all killers.
Yep.
And we'll have Sunday sermons with Wilder and Foreman and rap battles with Roy. Kevin Howard, my 4 would be Wilder, Prime Tyson for the power and wildness, both those guys. Floyd because we got houses, cars, and stuff to Barricade and Crawford for the weapons. And now let me say this real quick, because I've seen a lot of people talk about Crawford and weapons. Like, everybody just know that Crawford know what he doing with some weapons. I just think that that's funny. Dan D-Tex, he said Usyk, Wilder, Tyson, and Crawford. Massimo Carpino, he said, I like your choices for the zombie apocalypse, guys. My zombie apocalypse dream team is Marvelous Marvin Hagler, tough as nails, Joe Frazier, that left hook. Ali even said, if God ever calls me to a holy war, I want Joe Frazier fighting beside me. I like that. He said, Arthur Beterbiev, the boogeyman of boxing, and the absolute machine. And I like this one right here. He said, Arturo Gatti, the ultimate blood and guts warrior. I like that one.
Okay. He got hit too much for me, so he gonna turn into a zombie quick. Sorry.
He said, Percy Pringle said, Beterbiev, Wilder, yes. Andre Ward, and Andy Ruiz. And Gallinacci, shout out to Gallinacci.
Andy too inconsistent.
He said his dream team would be Prime Jack Johnson. You know he ain't afraid of nothing. Prime Muhammad Ali. You need a leader and someone to boost the team's moral. Prime George Foreman. We need that raw power and strength. Prime Pacquiao for the speed and footwork. The guy to run the quick errands when you. Now that is a solid team, man. Foreman to keep you back with the 1-2. You know, Prime Ali is Prime Ali. That was a good team. Yeah, I like that. I like those answers. I appreciate y'all for responding to that. I was hoping to get a question from the fans. The closest one that I got that I was like, all right, let's go with this. It's pretty close to the apocalypse, but the question is, I'm gonna shoot it to you first, is if you had to survive on the island alone with, and I'm gonna add one fighter, just say if you had to survive on the island with anyone, who would it be? But I feel like it only makes sense to add a fighter. And we'll keep it clean. You know what I mean? Yeah. We'll keep it clean. I know y'all gonna do what y'all do in the comments, but we're gonna keep it clean over here. How long we on the island? Yeah, man. How long we on the island? You want me to open it up to just anybody? I mean, you ain't got to. You gonna be on that island with who you want. I'm gonna find my fighter is. Damn, this is forever. Yeah, this one's hard. So, want to choose 4 again? My mind's telling me. And you can't start this answer with that. My mind's telling me. You can't start this with that. My mind's telling me Shields, but my body's telling me Bumgarner. Oh, man. Yeah, nah, it would probably, because I feel like, again, you're going to be on an island forever. Clarissa always has a lot to say. All right, disclaimer. Disclaimer, yes. In actuality, we would both choose a female fighter. Yeah, I'm not being on your island forever with another man. That's just. But I got to keep it clean. I mean, can't do y'all can do what y'all do, but I got to keep it clean. Can't do it. Yeah. Those are my 2 options. I'm not about to be on the island with Tank and Wilder. Yeah. No, thank you. I ain't even gonna answer. I'm gonna just let y'all. So that's the question of the week. You surviving on the island? Who would it be? And I'm gonna just open it up to anybody. Who the hell would it be? I've always had a crush on Kerry Washington. Always. Oh, so you opened it up to anybody? I just opened it up, yeah, because I ain't about to get. So it would be Sanaa Lathan for me. Sanaa Lathan. Absolutely. Got it, yeah. Absolutely. If we open it up to movie stars? Yeah. What we got? 1 minute. Yeah. What you think of Black Panther? Amazing film. I reviewed it as soon as I left. Yeah, I reviewed it as soon as I left the theaters. Took Bo with me. Yeah, man. I had a good time with Bo. Let me tell you, I was tight. You was? I needed Danny to remind me that I told you I bought tickets. I'm looking at your story like, yo, he went to the movies without me. He knew I wanted to see Black Panther. No. Yeah, man.
But he did tell you. I mean, I did tell you that I had bought tickets. My girl, you actually.
I was trying to figure out what the disconnect was.
Yeah. You invited us. You invited us, but I forgot. I told you that my girl bought tickets, and I'm like, I see you taking pictures. I'm like, damn, I forgot the movie was out.
Yeah,
but it is. Did it make you cry,
bruh?
It made you cry. So that's crazy, right?
So So you've seen it by now?
Oh yeah, I seen it yesterday.
Okay.
Seen it yesterday.
I counted 7 moments where it was just like,
word.
The last scene was when I finally was just like, fuck it. I've been holding it this whole time, right? This one, then nothing came out this one, but I was like,
what? So what? The final scene. I'm assuming.
Yeah, the very, very final scene.
Like after the credits rolled.
No, not that one. Right before that.
Fresh.
When they're on the island.
Still lost.
And she's like, I think I got to do this alone. And she was doing it alone. Then they came out and sat with her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that was after the credits scene, wasn't it?
The credits?
Yeah, when Lil Man. You talking about Lil Man?
Yeah, Lil Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That did it too.
Yeah.
Nah, there was moments, man. They, what is it? Ryan.
I got sick when the movie started. I got sick. I was like, oh.
Why? Because of all the video and stuff that they were showing?
Yeah, all that. Yeah.
And I love the way they wrote it.
Straight up.
He had, some sort of...
I loved it. It was a great film.
When did you know?
You want to get on? So I'm gonna do a live probably this week. Not probably. I'm probably gonna do a live Friday night, like review, like a video review of the show, and I'm gonna interact with the fans. Just so y'all know, I was gonna post that. But if you want to get on the live and we could talk about it.
Yeah, it was good, man. Shout out to Ryan Coogler, is it?
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good, man.
Yeah.
And it's so funny during the movie. I tell my wife, I'm like, what if the new Black Panther is Michael B. Jordan?
Right.
And then boom.
Right.
Oh, yo, they did their thing. That was very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Really good movie.
You seen Black Adam?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. I try to see them all.
Me too.
I'm back on my review game. So I end with motivation. You got anything?
Oh man, never give up. That's for sure, man. Never give up, man.
I'm glad you said that.
Nah, it's definitely the truth, man.
Great segue
we all go through ups and downs in life, and sometimes those moments can be tougher than others, and you might want to give up. But man, I'm here to tell you, man, that never giving up can lead to big things as long as you continue, consistency. I feel like the universe loves consistency, and you can't, do something for so long and it not, be beneficial.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, keep at it. Whatever that is that, you're doing.
Hey man, I appreciate you, Ness.
No, I appreciate you.
You said a word.
Having me.
Absolutely. You said a word while you were speaking. I wrote it down. Transparency. I've always been transparent with my audience, and I think that that's one thing that they really appreciate about me and have for a very long time. This week was the first time that I really got in the comments in a very long time. I usually only get in the comments when we're live, but I got into the comments, and I understand everybody's positions and why they said some of the things that they said in the comments this week. But I was like, damn, like, yeah. And you say, hey, I think that this is why a lot of fighters are dealing with mental health issues, because they see what people are saying about them, and they don't know how to handle it. You mentioned several fighters have gotten sports psychologists to help them through whatever they've been dealing with. You know what I mean? So just saying that to say this, full transparency, when I did the show last week, I said, hey, I missed the fights. I was traveling. You get a lot of people in the comments like, hey, do your homework, bro. You got to do this. You got to do that. Like, y'all understand. Like, I did this when I was 4 years old. I've literally bled, sweat, cried, the whole nine. Anything that you can think of in the sport of boxing, I've dealt with. Broken this and it broken heart, that, you know what I mean? anything that that can be dealt with in the sport, I've dealt with. A reason why a lot of fighters don't stay involved with boxing when they're done with it is because it has broken them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fighters don't feel like it's giving them what they expected to give them, and they leave it alone. They don't want to deal with it anymore. I have a gift, and I'm trying to use this gift, right? Everything. I could have fronted like I knew everything. I don't like to look like I know everything. I want other people to show what they know and so on and so forth. So I leaned on my guy last week, Ant, to be the guy. But understand that when I talk about transparency and I talk about me being who I am, appreciate the fact that I'm keeping it real with y'all, saying, hey, yo, I didn't watch it this week. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. But I have good reason. Yeah, we got it right there at our hands. I got a life. Yeah, we got it right there at our hands, but I got other stuff that I'm dealing with. I got a lot going on. I got some big things going on.
Bro, these cards are 6 hours though.
And they're long cards.
Because, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Look, you watch the main and the co-main.
Yeah.
And someone's still not happy. Yeah. It's gonna happen. There's no way you can watch 12 hours of boxing every single weekend and not miss someone. It's hard, you know what I mean?
My motivation this week is just full transparency. This is for the first time I'm really getting into these comments, and I was like, whoa, it kind of hurt me and it hit me a little bit. You know what I mean? Supposed to do better. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely gonna try to do better, but full transparency in terms of how you can commit that to your life is always be honest with yourself. Always be real with yourself. When you look in the mirror, you should always be able to smile. You should never have a moment where you turn away. You get angry or you cry or anything like that. You got something like that you're dealing with. Find where that problem is, that small little performance barrier that you have, and do what it takes to fix it. You know what I mean? But full transparency is just being real with yourself and being real with anyone who's around you and being able to share in that love and that honesty. You know what I mean? So be honest, be truthful, and live a good life, y'all. Have a blessed day. The PorterWay.